you're watching this on the 8th of January, then I turned 21 today. So this video, I'll be talking about the 21 lessons that I have learned at 21. I sort of like do this every year. But this video is going to be divided into 4 major parts: personal growth, finance and work, my Christian faith, and then finally productivity and time management. And these are some of the things that have guided my life so far. Some of them I'm still learning and trying to solidify in my life. And I think that if you maybe take even 5 of these lessons, then I think that they would actually help your life in the long run. If you're wondering where I am, I'm currently at the airport on my way back to Nigeria. So let's start with personal growth. My first is look to retain the knowledge of the things that you're reading in books. Many a times you could see, people say they read copious amounts of books every year, and it's actually really, really good, right? You should develop that habit. But I think what's more important, and of course, it's not a cherry pick, like you don't have to choose one or the other, but try to retain the knowledge of the books you're reading. And the way I do this primarily is by writing down the things that I'm learning. I have like a Notion page, each chapter of the book. I'm just sort of like doing that, and it helps me retain the knowledge faster. And the second thing is have a system for sharing your ideas, right? Whether that's through a personal blog, whether that's by your friends or social media, whatever it is, have a system for sharing your ideas. Take courses, whatever area it is that you want to focus on, whether that's in your career, whether that's a skill, or take courses. And more often than not, paid courses will beat free ones. I don't talk about this particular bit a lot, but don't date people that you don't have a future with, right? Like, it would save you time, it would save you energy. If you want to get into a relationship, do so with the kind of person that you would want to spend the rest of your life with. This one has changed my life. I'm not as consistent with it as I want to, but then journal every single day. Every single day. It can serve as your accountability partner, literally. So you wake up in the morning and then you write the things that you want to do in that particular day, or the things that would, if you could get them done, they would, give you like some booster, like you'd be really excited, right? So you write that, and at the end of the day, you come back and write whether or not you were able to achieve those things. And if you were not able to achieve them, why were you not able to achieve them? How can you change this? How can you, do better in it the following day? And then you wake up the following day, the first thing you do before journaling is just go back to the previous day. Okay, what were the things that I said I needed to do better? What are the things that I said I'm going to continue to do? It serves as an accountability partner, and it will help you throughout your productivity and personal, growth journey. Over to the next category, money and work. My first is learn about money and its concepts. I see all over, people saying they want to make money, they want to hit this amount of figures every month and all the rest. And of course, I'm not saying I'm a money guru or whatever the case is, but then I've come to understand that there is a study to money. There is a way money works. There's a way to sort of like attract it. There are certain things to do. So learn about money, and the way to do that primarily, I think, at least the way I do it, is by reading books and by watching YouTube videos, basically, right? So get books on money, whether it's Psychology of Money, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, just change your mindset about it. And then at the same time, watch YouTube videos about it. It's easier to take risks when you're young. And the general idea behind that is you don't have kids, at least for the demographic of people that watch my videos. You don't have kids currently, you probably don't have a spouse. So you don't have that much responsibility as it pertains to finance on your hands right now. So take the risk now, instead of waiting till when you have like 3 children and they are crying to you for their school fees and you're thinking of what you should do then. Take the risk now, learn about money, learn about finance, and try to do something. The next is do things that give high energy, right? And another way to put this is do things that you're passionate about. Because if you are thinking about the long run and things that can sustain you, then you really want to do things that give you high energy. Because when you feel down, or when you want to be complacent, or when you want to procrastinate, these are the things that would keep you going, the things that you love to do. I love creating videos, I love posting on social media, I love sharing my ideas, right? So regardless of how tired I am, in the overall grand scheme of things, I will be able to bring myself to doing these things because it's what I love to do. So if you can, reduce the things that don't give you high energy and up the things that do give you high energy. Every quarter, focus on building at least one project, and do this based on the things that you're learning. And my final for this section is build a personal brand. It's one of the things that has helped me, so much. I've not made a ton of money, and when I eventually do, I will start to probably say some figures, maybe, right? Just for documentation purposes. But then building a personal brand literally has helped me, right? People are following you not primarily because of the product you're selling, even though that's really important, but they're following you because of the brand that you are, right? And it's extremely important. So build a personal brand around, your life. Become the brand. And you can actually read some books about this as well. But then building a brand is one of the best things that's happened to me so far. You move over to the Christian faith. Try and maintain a consistent devotional life. That's prayer and Bible study. And the idea basically is so we can get closer to God. That's the basis of reading your Bible and praying every day. Don't just read the scriptures, seek to do the things that you read. James 1 tells us that whoever reads the word and does not do the things that he says is likened to a man that looks at himself in the mirror, leaves and forgets how he looks like. It might seem confusing, but the general idea behind that is in the word is where you find your true self. It's how you know who you really are, and doing the things that are in the word is to the end that you become the person that you ought to become. The next is seek to know your purpose and walk in it. There's a reason why we're put on the earth. Find that out and begin to walk in it. Create a system for evangelism. You see, I always talking about systems, and goal setting and all these things, and we sort of like take that away from the Christian faith, all right? But then setting system for that. So saying, I would evangelize to XYZ amount of people every week, or I'm not going to, I'm going to take a friend with me and all these type of things. Create a system that works for you, right? To share this gospel to other people. And then finally, have a structure for passing down the things that you're learning, passing down the things that have been put on you to other people. And this is basically discipleship, right? You don't really have to get so high in the Christian faith before you disciple people. I think it's 2 Timothy 1:2, if I'm not mistaken. But my editor, please correct that if I'm wrong. The things that you've heard me say amongst faithful witnesses, commit to faithful men who will commit to others also. That's 2 Timothy 2:2. One of them, right? And basically, Paul is writing to Timothy, and he's saying that the things that you've heard me say amongst other people, commit to faithful men. That's the way the Christian faith was handed down to us. That, from Jesus to the 12 apostles, and they spread these, and of course we have it now. So have a structure for passing these things down to others. And for the final section, productivity and time management. Have a particular time you sleep and you wake up every day. And try as much as possible to make sure it's not lower than 6 hours. Of course, you're aiming for 6 to 8 hours, but try to make sure it's not lower than 8 hours. When you have this pattern and it's constant, then you know how many hours in the day you can actually do productive stuff. Have a weekly schedule. I have a video where I teach you how to create all of that. I will link it up here. But have a weekly schedule, something that you're doing every week that would guide how your day goes. Delegation has saved me a lot of time and a lot of effort. The things that you don't necessarily need to do, that really don't produce anything, if you can, if you have the resources to do it, that could be in terms of money or in people, try as much as possible to delegate. Use the Eisenhower matrix to guide your life. And it's basically 4 bits: urgent and important. The things that are urgent and are important, you should do them right away. The things that are not urgent, but they are important, schedule to do them sometime. Actually schedule them. The things that are urgent but not important, delegate these things. That's what I said in the previous lesson. And finally, the things that are not urgent and are not important, delete them from your life. Maybe not totally, right? But just try to eradicate these things from your life. Use it to guide your life. Sit down, think of the tasks in these separate boxes, and then do the needful yourself. And then my final for this section is have deep work sessions every day or at least 3 times a week. So about 2 to 3 hours where you are simply focused on solid and productive work. If you want to find out more about this, you can read the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. And then my 21st lesson is look to give value to others. Let your life portray this, right? This should be the assignment of your life. Try not to let things end with you, right? The things that you're learning, the things that you know, just try and pour them into people, whether it's in discipleship, whether it's sharing your stuff out there, but then look to add value to people, right? And genuinely, every other thing will come. Of course, you're not doing it so every other thing will come, but it's really just how it works, right? We receive by giving. It's a paradox, but that's how it is. So that's that for today. So if you got to the end of this video, just so I know the ones that are really real, the ones that are my guide, right? Comment like a pineapple emoji, right? Just so I know you got to the end. Let's confuse all the other people that left. So I have a Telegram community where I share some of my ideas. Once in a while, I just post stuff on there. And then also, I think the highlight of the community is every month we try to have like AMAs where you can ask me any question, usually on productivity, time management, and all the rest. And then we sort of like plan our whole month during that session. All right, so I think it's really amazing. So I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you for staying through to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.